What's up, Scrapazoids? Everybody doing all right today, I hope. Decided to go ahead and pop a live up today. It's going to wind up getting reposted as a video. I have been busy as around here. We are bracing for yet another wonderful storm, Yera. So, hi, Joe. Hi, Chad Park. How are you? So, I thought today I would just show you some of the new material that just came in. I went and picked it up this morning. We're expecting another nor'easter here, and it is already sleeting and icing and every other dang thing, and they're just not sure how much snow we're going to get. They expect to know a little bit later tonight. They're talking about another significant snow event. So, I've already been out. I got all my things shipped off, which is good. Thank you, Chad Spark. Appreciate you. Alexandria, welcome. So I thought maybe I would just unbox some of the new stuff that I got in. My goal for today is to continue working on switches and telecom equipment to try to get a box out. Ooh, wow, these are nice. Man, wow, talk about cold recovery. Look at that. Very nice board. You got nice chips on both sides of the boards. That is a high-grade telecom board. That is a board I will probably sell for $25 a piece. Look at that. Wow. I don't usually buy e-scrap per se, but I did buy these. The price was right, and I'm also trying to get some telecom boards up for my board buyer. So these are really, it's a beautiful board. Wow. Gold bonding wires here, tantalum capacitors, ceramics. Very nice, nice bunch of boards there. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. That really hits the, really helps the channel out a lot. They're all the same. These pins are about 3/4 of the way plated. They're good. Just trying to see if there's a date on these boards. They're all the same. And I'm not sure where I'm going to price these. You know, I believe high-grade telecom, which this is, I believe right now is $12.50 a pound. If I were to resell it to a board buyer, a board store, or some such thing. Those are really nice boards. I've got a box of telecom that I was working on yesterday. Or not. Where it went? I probably put it down into the basement. I think I'm definitely going to put 2 into that box for sure, and so on and so forth. All right, I am working with only one phone right now, so bear with me if I don't see it come in or I don't acknowledge a comment. It isn't because I don't love you. Something else I did, I took all that server RAM that I had for sale and I actually sorted it. What started happening is people were, it started with a couple of orders yesterday. They wanted to make sure they got all of the same type of RAM. I think he was trying to fix an old Dell server. So when I sorted, I had a box full of RAM like that. So I sorted them out. These are all Samsung 4 gig, and I put the lots like that. Most are going to need 8 to 16 sticks of RAM. So I'm trying to put them into groups of 16 of all the same. So if people want to buy it for one of their old servers to see if it works, they'll be able to do that. So that is the other thing that's on tap for today. All right. Let's go. I'm just going to work on telecom equipment today. Again, I've got a couple of boxes in the works. I wouldn't mind topping them off just a little bit. Also, I would like to get at least one box out today, whether I send it over to BoardSword or cellularboards.com, yeah, or wherever it actually winds up. Matrix. Like I said, guys, I apologize if I don't see you come in. It's just because I'm working with just the one phone right now. I got a feeling it's going to be a weekend of processing e-scrap. Just bring this down a little bit. Let me put the lights on. Turn on the lights. It's getting dark quick out. We're really in for a storm today, guys. Storm we had last week, 2 weeks ago, dropped 18 inches of snow on us. And they're saying this one might be a pretty good one too. It's like coming right up the coast. So, yeah, battery's dead. So anywho, it is what it is. Hi, Jess. How are you? Nice to see you. All right. So let's take a look at some of this telecom equipment. You know it's telecom if it has telecom ports. You know, and that's usually the kicker. Now, in this case, this board would just grade as a telecom board because it's completely covered with chips. It has a very low profile. There's not junk on it. That's just a beautiful board, top to bottom. That's where you get your high-grade telecom. This, it looks gold flash, but it's not. I think it's plastic. Matter of fact, I know it's plastic. But the board itself, the chip recovery, the gold recovery from this pin is going to be very good. That will grade as a telecom high-grade board. Yeah, I should go get the charger and I should plug in the other phone. I should. So what's everybody digging in for another storm or what? You ready? I'm not. I'm supposed to go out to lunch tomorrow. I don't want another storm. I don't mind the snow, but you know, the darn ice. I've got one family member who works till the early hours of the morning. I worry about him coming home at night and the ice and snow and everything else. But everybody's got to be careful. You know, snow is one thing, but once those roads get slick, forget it. You can't see the black ice, blah, 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 blah. So this is a Matrix SETU FVXTH multi-port gateway. Sounds good to me. Switches don't have to be big to have good boards in them. There's I was supposed to go over today and pick up another load of telecom equipment. They didn't get there. They're going to leave it out and I'm going to go get it tomorrow morning, I hope. Dennis, if you happen to be on board, for some reason your package came back. I don't know why. I had to reship it this morning. That's the package with the heat sinks. It came back to the UPS store. I don't know why, but I did reship it. And you should be able to check the tracking and it should be the same. So that went back out this morning. I don't know what happened. Well, I don't know. Well now, let's take a looky-see here. Boy, As my Italian grandmother would have said, that's a nice. At first glance, I thought it was RAM, but it's not. It doesn't come out. Oh boy. Still a telecom board, though, I think. If I can get this power supply off, I could go with a telecom high-grade board here. But I think it's all one piece. This box will yield some goodies for our telecom boxes for sure. These can definitely go into the high-grade box that I got going, that one that I've been trying to top off a little bit. We'll be adding these for sure. You know, when I do the what's in the box, once the box is viewed, it doesn't get anything taken out of, but sometimes I add things into it. Sound equipment is really good too. Anything that's like a production server or media server, anything like that. So this, there's some nice gold flashing on here. Nice gold recovery. We'll definitely we'll put this little group into the telecom box that we've been working on. I have to go out and get mothballs. We have a skunk, and this little skunk loves to spray at all hours of the morning. And he seems to like to spray right under my bedroom window. So as much as I hate putting out mothballs, I'm going to put him out. He's going to go find someplace else to live. Oh, God, 3 nights in a row he stunk up the place. We had one a couple of years ago. It was an albino. Most beautiful animal you ever want to see. But it also loved to spray at least once a night. But unfortunately, it did get hit by a car. And guys, thank you for the offers to co-host. It isn't that I don't want you or I don't appreciate your offer. I do appreciate your offer. But for me to invite somebody in as a co-host, it has to be somebody I know, somebody I've interacted with over the past year and I know pretty well. I have to know that you know your stuff. And please don't be offended if I don't accept your request. And I have to be able to plan ahead of time, because I'm going to run a much different kind of life if I have a co-host. So please understand. Okay, so again, we've got gold pins here. Now Scrooge McDuckin says these little components right here, these little square guys, he says they're loaded with gold. He said you'll get as much gold out of those as you'll get out of a ceramic chip. And if Scrooge said it, I believe it. That man knows his stuff. So anyway, the white albino skunk, unfortunately it did get hit by a car last year, the year before I think, but it didn't get mangled, it got hit, so it looked like it was sleeping in the middle of the road, and it was just as white as snow. It was the most beautiful animal. I kind of felt bad that it got killed. I really did. These poor critters, they got nowhere to go now. Hey, Thumper, how are you? Good morning. Actually, it's probably good afternoon at this point, huh? See what my friends from Australia say. Yeah, please, guys, that would be really great if you would go ahead and hit the like button and share it out there so people join in. I'm pretty sure that Southern Scrapper is probably on. This is his kind of time of day, although I didn't see anything when I checked. I really try hard not to go on when somebody else is on. It's just bad form. And I do usually repost my videos. I try to keep them under an hour so that I don't hit that restriction, you know? Should be wearing gloves. I know. Oh, thanks, Upper. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. I'm glad you're doing well too. So yeah, these are going to get added, guys, to the box of telecom cards from yesterday's live, yesterday's What's in the Box. So we'll be adding those into that box just to top it off a little more. It's certainly worth the asking price already, but you know me. Anybody who's bought a box from me will tell you my boxes are jam-packed. Talked to my board buyer this morning. He wants me to get a little bit more before we catch up, which is fine. But he's in Mamaroneck, New York, which is about maybe an hour from me. And if I get a good enough load, he'll come down and pick it up. But I'm so over. I have so much e-scrap that. I'm going to give him telephones. I'm going to give him their office phones. I'm going to give him those. I'm going to give him my battery backups, and just stuff that I'll never get around to scrapping. He's got a big plant. He's got a lot of people working for him, and so on and so forth. So we're going to send those over to him. He's been really good to me, and I love both SellYourBoards.com and I love BoardSort. I love both of those guys. But if you get somebody who's going to come into a pickup, that's going to save you $1 a pound on shipping. Hey, yeah, why not? So, I'm going to kick a little something back to them if I can. And, if I can get these telecom boards put together, I got to ship out a box. I try to ship out a box a day, and I'm way behind. We had the last room I had 18 inches of frozen ice in the back of my pickup truck. All of my e-scrap, even though it was in boxes, was stuck in the truck. Finally, yesterday, I got most of the rest of it out. But, note to self, cover your pickup truck when it's going to snow. But I did have it binned, and I had it in boxes, so nothing got damaged. But it was just stuck. It was just stuck to the truck it was. Quite the winter up here in New England. How about you guys? A lot of snow. Even Florida's cold. I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in Florida. Her and her husband were out picking up iguanas. I guess Florida is overrun with iguanas and pythons and all kinds of other stuff. And they don't do well in the cold weather. They're cold-blooded. They can't get warm, and they literally freeze and fall out of the trees. There's like lines and lines of people bringing these iguanas to let's call it an iguana disposal site, and just getting rid of them. But, she and her husband had captured 50 iguanas on their property. 50. Thank you. I think I'll stay up here in Connecticut. All I have is a skunk. I'll take a skunk over iguanas. All right, where are we going to grade this guy? What do you guys think? Get that gold. That's right. Gold family. I got to start hashtagging that too in my thing. Hashtag gold family. It's not a bad board. You got a lot of gold flashing. This becomes the problem when you're grading telecom boards right here. Once you have a big open dead space like that, it doesn't matter. It's going to go as a low-grade telecom board or perhaps even a peripheral high-grade board. In this case, there's a little bit of, there's chips here. It looks like it might be an IC chip of some type. And I don't see a whole lot else. Honestly, I'm probably going to grade this as a low-grade peripheral board. I do have visible gold, but I don't have a lot of chips, and there's a good bit of junk on this. So this, I think, is going to be low-grade peripheral. It's redeeming graces right here, all of this gold and this gold flashing. So for our purposes, yeah, peripheral low. Visible gold, some chips, but it's not super, super dense. There's really not a heck of a lot of value except for here. Actually, there's gold here too. So on a scale of 1 to 10, that one's probably about a 4, to tell you the truth. So that's going to go as a low-grade peripheral. I do have to take this off. My buyer would, or just have to not add it in with the weight when I weigh the board, one or the other. Matrix. P124 Cosmic. I don't see a date on here. I'm always looking for a date. Not finding too many these days. Getting old. Alright, so that can go over with the peripheral boards. That can go out to one of the bins. That's PC. I've just got it here so I don't damage my table. I'm not 100% sure what this actually is. I got it out of my telecom pickup yesterday. Multi-call message greeting from Lucent Technologies. Now, Lucent was part of the old Bell system. What they did, I don't remember how many years ago, maybe 25 years ago, the government basically stepped in and broke Bell phones into 1,000,001 components. Lucent was one of the spin-offs. AT&T was a spin-off. There were a couple of others. Lucent made very high-grade telecom equipment. If you can find old Lucent technology, it should have very good components in it, but it's older. I don't think Lucent is in business anymore, but I won't swear by it. So, this just looks like some kind of a DVD-ROM player. Spectrio. Be heard, be inspired. Spectro. I'm going to put that aside because I think it's probably just a CD board of some type. Telegrater. You got mail. I don't remember the actual date that Bell phone system got split up into 1,000,001 parts. AT&T, I know, and Lucent, and there were a bunch of other spin-offs too. They basically, you can't have all these things. We're splitting you up because we're the government and we said so. Hi, Al Goldman. Thank you for the rose. That was really nice of you. So what do you think, guys? Platinum blonde for the new color? I had about 3 or 4 people said, leave it, D. You're a badass. I'm like, I'm too old to be a badass. But it gave me a great idea for a t-shirt. And that's what I was going to say. I want to be a badass, but I'm too old. Going out, I'm going to get myself some nice black jeans, some nice black boots, a cowboy hat, and dye my hair blonde. I did reschedule the surgery, but I rescheduled it for the fall. There's so many people out there who are sick. I really don't want to get an elective procedure done when there's 1,000,001 people out there with God only knows what, and that's fine. I was supposed to get a cochlear implant preparation surgery, and they got me all prepped. They shaved my head, and then the surgeon couldn't get in because he was stuck in traffic. And there was about 5 other people lined up, so I got bumped. I'm like, you couldn't tell me that an hour ago before you. And then they decided, oh, well, you look like you might have an ear infection. We're going to move you. I'm like, don't give me that crap. I don't have an ear infection. I didn't have one at my physical yesterday. I don't have one now. But, me being me, I made a big joke about it. I called myself Mrs. Clean, Mini Me, Mrs. Lex Luthor. What are you going to do? And if I'm not answering your comments, I ask you to forgive me. Hi, Dave. How are you? Please forgive me if I'm not responding to the comments. My other phone is over here, dead as a doorknob. All right. Yeah. So even though this is coming out of a piece of telecom equipment, and it is, I wouldn't go much above low-grade peripheral on this for the same reason. It does have gold. It does have one patch of nice chips. It's got a lot of dead space, and it's got junk on it. So even though it is a telecom board, and you could try and get low-grade telecom, I'm going to go down one, which is high peripheral. I think they're $5.50 a pound right now. I may throw that into one of the boxes if I have room. There is good gold here, and here, if there's more than 8 legs, you should get gold recovery here. There's a nice ceramic, that's good for gold recovery. And I thought I saw a gold banded crystal oscillator on here somewhere. I got a nice little bucket of those going too. There's a lot of controversy about, here it is, gold banded crystal oscillators. I've heard everything from save them to toss them, they're not worth it. Trinity Gold did a really good video recently. He got good gold out of this. He put it into the acid bath, he got his silver out, and then of course there was base metal iron left. But he did do a very good video on it, so my thought is these are probably worth saving if you're going to do some silver refining. And I got a jug of those going. I get enough of them, I'll sell them. I don't really have much interest in doing refining. I got enough stuff around my house already. I don't want something else. I got a box going here, putting in capacitors and silver buttons. I've also heard that MOSFETs also have silver and gold in them. I know they have copper. I know the legs are copper. I can see the copper. But that's something I want to look into a bit more. I hear they are also good for silver recovery. Again, that is in the... Let me get back to you, column on that one. Let me just put these in with their friends. My prescription for you is gold recovery. And this little cupboard coming along. Like I said, I won't do it. It's not my thing. So when this box gets filled, we'll sell it. I've been collecting the capacitors and such. This is something I save because anywhere there's a push button like this, you'll usually find a silver contact. And that's just something I'm saving for. I'd say saving for a rainy day, but the rainy day is here. All right, let me go grab another switch here. Heavy thing. Getting too old for this crap. Never. Cisco. You know, when they make these boards, guys, these printed circuit boards, the manufacturer kind of makes a one-size-fit-all, and then it's up to the programmers and the assemblers what to put onto that printed circuit board. So if you get a board that's a real, POS, oh, that Cisco's a POS. No, it's not. It's just that they didn't need all of the things that were on that board. So some printed circuit boards have very little. If I have the time or had the time, I would definitely cut off that connector end right there. It's a lot of brass and a lot of gold recovery. I don't have time. That's just something I don't have time right now, let's put it that way. Something like that, I gotta wait till the summer comes and I can go outside and do it. I mean, I just got I don't want that. That stuff's really toxic. Those boards are toxic. So you don't want to, you don't want to be breathing that stuff in it. Hi, Dr. Jerkface, how are you? I got a Dollar General cash and coin machine. That ought to be fun. Are you going to be scrapping that live? A little bit. That ought to be fun. Wow. Is Southern Scrapper still on? Does anybody know? I didn't see it. I didn't see him come up when I checked. But I will repost this. You know, I like to teach about different grading and board recovery. Every one of my videos, whether I'm doing a sales pitch or one of my selling a box, but I like to teach people about, finding e-scrap. I mean, there's plenty of e-scrap out there to be found if you know where to look for it. But don't discount those TVs sitting at the side of the road, because I'm going to tell you, e-scrap is getting harder to find. And good e-scrap is getting even harder to find. I honestly, anything after 2020 is hardly worth scrapping. Wow. I think these come out, and I think there's a gold card inside of each one. I think I'm going to take this apart. I see gold, but I think this got this up. You pull them out, and there's a gold tab right there. I don't think there's any resale to this because it was sitting outside. Otherwise, that's something I would consider reselling. But they left it all outside. It was under the snow and the ice, and so it wasn't treated very well. What I'll probably wind up doing is I'll probably just, actually I take that back. That looks like I might be able to get it apart right here. Right here. Possibly. Possibly. Let's see. I'm sitting in my beautiful dining room that's all been painted. I've got my table in here. I actually moved my kitchen table into back here because my kitchen is really super small. And I just moved the table into here, I think. And I think, well, it came off easy enough. Where's the other part to it? Huh. Okay, well, I will clip that off and sell it with my gold connector ends. I'm going to amend my previous statement. Alright. Yeah, there's there should be nice gold in here. And we'll put that with our, we'll clip it and put it with the connector ends. And then yeah, I agree, Roadhouse. Roadhouse says that sometimes it's awfully hard to tell which is which with regards to brass and gold and everything else, and he's right. That it is hard. You can certainly get something that just tests gold as a gold. Brass is very, gold is heavy, and with brass you can scratch the surface. If you get shiny yellow, there's a good chance it's brass. I would suggest researching that a little bit. I agree, that can be difficult. I do agree with you. And I really honestly can't give you a definitive answer because I struggle with it too. I mean, some things I know they're gold because you just know, like RAM, is gold. This I know is gold plating over brass. Gold plating over grass. It's a new category of board sort. Let's see if I have the other screwdriver here. I might not be able to scrap this if I can't get it apart. I have another size screwdriver, but it tain't where it's supposed to be. It tain't. Sometimes what you can do is you can tighten and then loosen, and then you're able to free it up. There it is. There it goes. It's the trouble when they leave things outside, they seize up on you. The power screwdriver, the head was too big. So I'll have to do it this way. That's okay. Hello, Fast Horse, welcome in. Costas, welcome in. Shane, welcome in. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. It really, really helps the channel. And if you're enjoying, if you're enjoying the video and you like videos like this, my bailiwick is computers. I buy and sell e-scrap. I take computers and electronics apart, and I like to show, like to show myself on video doing it. I like to help people identify things that are precious metal recovery and identify what is just absolute junk. That's why I spend some time on these boards. And the website is thecomputerscrapper.com. That is a work in progress. I really focus on computers more than anything else, just because even just doing computers and switches, I have so much stuff around the house, and I like doing computers. They're easy. What I tend to do is I do a lot of the same thing all at once so that I can get it all shipped and boxed. Like today I'm focusing on high grade and telecom because I want to get a load of telecom boards shipped out over the weekend. So, rather than doing a computer, a phone, just instead of doing onesies, I try to do things like by categories, I think it's better. Can't believe it's Friday already. I didn't even know this week went. Just got to get all these fiddly little screws out. Let's try this with this side. Cisco makes a pretty good product usually, as far as recovery and stuff. We all like our Cisco switches. They usually are pretty good. If they're not, it's not Cisco's fault. It's whoever ordered the component, because the manufacturer is only going to put onto the board what the client orders. So, and also over the weekend, my other thing to do is I'm going to be moving the workshop back down to the basement. My whole basement has been fixed. All the flood damage is fixed. All the water damage is fixed. And that room will be ready to be used again, which I'm really happy about. Boy, that was a stubborn one. This is like me, stubborn. Stubborn. If you can make friends with a telecom company, guys, you can get yourself some really, really good e-scrap. Office phones are really good to scrap out if you have time. They're back when I first started doing this, one of the pickups I had, matter of fact, it was a year ago. It was February of last year, and I remember driving out to Danbury, and the guy had them stored in, like a trailer, like a tractor trailer back at a storage place, and we couldn't get the door open because of the ice. But he was like, you got to take the whole lot of everything, so I want to get rid of this. Yeah, no problem, He let me know, his son would come up and let me in. They only lived around the corner, and we went and we did that. But one of the first things I got there were a bunch of office phones, and the first year I was on, the first couple of months, I did my first what's in the boxes were all office phones. They had a lot of circuits on them, so I'm going to presume they're probably good for silver recovery. So I sold out of those. I sold about 5 or 6 boxes, and I haven't really done any phones since, just because of time. But I do have, matter of fact, speaking of Lucent, we were just speaking about Lucent. I've got a whole bunch of Lucent phones. I probably will put 1 box of those boards together if they're decent, just for a change of content. You know, we'll scrap out some of those Lucent phones. They're over in the storage bin right now. I've got to bring some home. All right. And now for the front. If you have a specific question of me and I didn't get to you in the comments, again, I'm running with one phone. The other phone is dead. I thought I charged it, but I didn't. So if I missed you or didn't acknowledge you, please forgive me. It's not because I'm rude. It's because I'm stupid. I forgot to charge the phone. Usually Southern Scrapper is on at this time of day, so I really didn't think I was going to go live. But like I said, when I checked in, nobody was on, so I said, well, let me get this done. I'm here, I'm scrapping stuff. Let me get on and chat. These are called module cards. You'll get them on a sorting. They slide in and out of the back. In this case, you know, it's telecom. Not really great for gold recovery, although there might be a good chip under here. I would throw that in with low grades or possibly gold finger cards. This is good gold, and if there's a chip under here that we can get off, there should be good gold under that as well. But again, nice gold flashing there. I would just throw that in with gold finger cards. After I got to take everything off it. You know, your buyers don't want all the junk that goes with it. They don't want that, and they will downgrade your load if you know. If you're new and you're just learning, your buyer should help you through it as you learn the process. I certainly made my fair share of mistakes when I first started doing this on both sides. Chris over at Board Sort was really, really great. He, you know, a couple times I went too low and he wrote me back, said, no, these are actually higher. And by the same token, I did make a mistake on a lot of boards. I put them in one category. He said, no, they've got to go here. And I politely said, no, they don't. I don't agree with you. And I said, nicely as could be, 2 professional people. And a week later, he upgraded them. So it was just, sometimes they're just, you know, sometimes you can't help it. It's right on the darn fringe. But, you know, if you start nipping stuff off or you constantly haggling with your buyer, that's not going to go real well for you. Most buyers are very, very reasonable. Do your best to make an honest guess. Watch some videos, ask questions. Board Sort has some great videos about grading boards, and Shark Scrapper. Those are the two things that I really started with. Both of those things really helped me a bunch. This should be nice clean aluminum under here. Oh, crapola. Really? That was weird. Huh, that's a Twerks. You at Twerks and everybody else here is a flathead. It don't make a sense. I've got a pretty good load of aluminum to go to the yard. With the ribbons, the whole ribbon have got gold in it, or do you just clip the tips, or just the tips have gold? I think you have to really hold it up to the light and look at it. Some of them are interlaced with gold. For the most part, most of the gold is in the ends. I don't want to make a definitive answer on that because I don't personally gold refine. But I do know that those ribbon wires and mylars under keyboards, those all have gold recovery. That I do know. What I tend to do is I just kind of bundle them up and I'll send them off to whoever's, whoever the lucky recipient of the month is on the bonus packages. I do save them though. And I would check Hobie-Wan Kenobi's channel, and I would check Scrooge McDuckin's channel to see if they have this item-specific answer to that for you. They know more about that stuff than I do. Okay. That was painful. It was like nails on the chalkboard, huh? Yikes. I don't like to force the heat sinks. Usually these come off okay. If you work with smaller heat sinks like these guys back here, and you're not able to get them off, yes, you can use them. Yes, you can try to get them off. But sometimes what will happen, these will actually stick to the chip, and if you pull the heat sink, the chip is going to go off with it. I can tell you, your board buyer would rather that you leave this than take the chip. They know that. That's a nice piece of clean aluminum. I'm going to get the thermal paste off because that stuff just gets over everything. That's probably 2 pounds of aluminum. I will call this extruded aluminum. My yard gives me old sheet for it. I fight with them about it every time I go in, and I'm never going to win. So it's extruded because it's clean and it can put through a press. That to me makes it extruded. The only halfway decent explanation I ever got was it was due to the thickness, and I don't even know that I agree. But what do I know? Watch these spring-loaded clips. Ouch. They will snap at you. So always cover. You don't want to get yourself a tissue full of e-scrap, guys. Okay. And that came off without any problem. So these are not removable CPUs, but I'm going to grade this as a multi-socket server board. I take that back. I take it back. I take it back. I'm going to grade this as a high-grade telecom board. Plenty of chips under here. I've got 1, 2, 3 chips here. That's borderline, I'll tell you. I think I can get high grade because there is a lot of chips and there's a lot of gold recovery. I don't know. I'm going to think about this one. I'm really tempted to put this in as a dual socket motherboard. I really am. I don't think I can get telecom high for it. I'm going to take that back too. It's either go in with my telecom lows or as a dual socket motherboard. Even though these are not removable, there's still 2 sockets. That one, don't hold me to that one. That one I gotta think about a little bit. BoardSort has a new tool that they're working on that's called Oscar. And basically you can scan your board and Oscar will tell you what it is. If you have a lot of something, don't be afraid to ask your buyer, well, what do you want to buy this as? You can grade it as anything you want, but if your buyer's not going to buy it at that, you're not going to, make your best case there. All right. So it's a nice board. Always remember, guys, you got to get the batteries off your boards. In this case, all these boards have to be sold to scrap because they all got wet. The person I picked them up from left about in the rain. You cannot ship with a battery. It's illegal and dangerous. So, yeah, I'm probably going to put this in as a, I think I'm going to put it in as a dual or multi-metal socket, multi-socket server board, I think. There's not a big difference pay grade wise, so I'm not hurting myself either way. What I will do is I got to go do my homework, which means I have to go up onto Board Sort's website, and I have to go double check this board because I don't want to make a mistake. The other side of that is, well, it came out of telecom equipment, it can be rated as a telecom board, and that is true. They're a little bit more lenient with Cisco because Cisco always has a lot of gold here. So if there's more, I think the number is 24. If there's more than 24 ports, sometimes they'll do that for you. Hello, Marlon Michaels, welcome in. Yeah, like I said, guys, as far as co-hosting, I gotta know ahead of time, and it's gotta be somebody I've worked with for a while. Isn't it I don't love you or I don't value you? I do value you. Value you. I say, guys, I gotta be prepared. I mean, I see some lives that are very well collaborated, really good moderators, and you know, I see others that are just you know, everybody's talking over everybody else, talking about everything but the topic, and you know, I don't want my, unless I'm doing a comedy hour, and then we can talk. I always do a comedy hour. I used to get them here for the jokes quite a bit. Let's see if I can get this guy out. Server boards can be really fiddly to get out. I've got to get these out. I've got to pull this front panel out, and then I'll be able to slide the board free. Server boards can be a pain in the kisser. There probably won't be too much on the back side of the board. Probably all just be front. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get this off. If you have to force something, go back and double check to see if you just didn't forget to get a screw or two. God knows there's enough of them. Is going to be my stopping point because my verification button for the hour is going to probably come up any second now. Again, I'll go telecom because I know it's a piece of telecom equipment, so we'll take multi-socket server off the table. Question is, is there enough value there for my buyer for it to be a high grade? I'm going to go with yes because this is Cisco. They're a little bit more lenient. There's a lot of gold here. I'm going to put it in with my high-grade telecom boards, and I'm going to put a note on it to please double-check this board. That's what I'll do. And, you know, I'll make sure that he sees it. Just based on what I've seen them say, I know they're a little bit more lenient with Cisco boards because of the gold. All right, so I am going to have to work at getting this front piece off. I have to unlock this, get this off, and then I'll be able to drop the board free. Not too bad. Come on, darling, come on out of there. Yeah, if you are enjoying if you're enjoying this and you'd like to be notified about when I go live, please feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. I'd love to have you. Sometimes I just do a video depending on. I try not to go on because we've got a really nice hashtag gold family going here, and it's really a nice community of people. Really is very knowledgeable. I've learned an awful lot from them. And, you know, just out of respect, I try not to go on when someone else is on. But I almost always will load my videos if they go over an hour, they're on the other streaming platform. Not streaming, on my other social media site. And I usually post them here on TikTok as well. Okay. That'd be 1 or 2 fiddly screws somewhere. Yeah, there's, see, I knew it. There's 4 little screws here. I'll get those off, and then that will free the board up. I'm just watching for my verification thing to come up. As if it comes up and you miss it, they boot your sorry little derriere right out. Very rude. I'm good for about an hour anyway, and then I get tired after an hour. Scrapaholic just goes at it for hours on end, man. He's just a machine. Chad, if you're listening, it's a compliment. Okay. I have to play with this a little bit. There's really no reason this shouldn't come out of there. I think it's this thing here. Yeah. These are like a lever, so they've got to pull forward, and that'll free that up, and then I'll be able to hopefully get the board off. I'm just watching again for my verification. They send a little puzzle piece comes up and asks you to verify that you're still there. And so we'll get these little latches off. Boom. And this is all actually part of the board. So I said sometimes they're a little bit more lenient with Cisco boards than others. There's not a heck of a lot of wiggle room in here to actually get the board out. There's just not a lot of room to maneuver. Progress. I'm going to stick the handle under there till I can work the rest of that free. Come on, darling. Let's go. People want to see me get this out of here. They don't want to see it sit here halfway. Remember, guys, E-scrap is very, very sharp. I'm going to have to figure out where I missed something. I don't think I missed anything much. I really thought it was all here, and I thought I could pull it forward and slide it out, which is what should be happening. I should be able to pull this and just get that out of there. It's going to be a buster just because I'm on live. It's going to bust me off here. Well, let's see. Okay, Cisco 1D0. It's just a matter of really just fiddling with it and finding out what's hanging it up. It seems to be hung up right here and here, so I've got to go back through and see if I've missed a screw or if it's just stuck. The other option is just to bend and break this out and then just take a hammer and push it through that way. It's free. See what I mean? Sometimes it's just one stupid little thing holding the whole thing up. Just to embarrass me live. This is for all practical purposes. The board is free. Why is it not coming out? I don't know. I don't know. Crapola. I'm going to have to work a little bit more on that off camera, guys. I might have to unscrew these MOSFETs. It's just something just hanging it up just enough to keep it on the frame. And it does seem to be over here. there's I think what I'm gonna have to do is get a hammer and punch these through, because that seems to be where it's hanging, and I don't really want to do that in the dining room. I'll take that down to the basement and do it, and see if that'll free the board. It's free. It's not stuck on the, it's just it's hung up back here somewhere. So we'll get these off, see if that solves it. If not, I think the problem's going to be here. The option is to just take the grinder, open this up on the other side, and pull the board forward. But again, that's something I got to do down in the basement. Hi Joshua, how are you? Thank you. Yes, I'm having a wonderful day. Thanks for asking. I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, so it's a nice board. Again, this is the little this I think Scrooge said was something else, and I forgot what he called it, but he said these are one of the best things for gold recovery and to make sure we take them off. He says there's more gold in here than there is in a ceramic chip, and that man has taken apart more fine, really taken apart a lot of stuff. And if he said it, I'm inclined to believe it. This is also hanging right here. Why do you have to do this to me on my live? Why can't you do this to me when I'm not live? I want to show these good people success, not me fighting with you. All right, so it's either here, here, or here. I gotta take it off camera because I gotta take it down in the cellar and beat the shit out of it. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for the likes and the follows, and really appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that that like button, and I'll probably see you Sunday morning. That's my usual live time. It always depends if I gotta work Sunday morning or not. I'm a substitute church organist, so sometimes I get a last minute call, but I'll get on sometime Sunday. All right, everybody, I'm determined to do this, You know what I'll do is when I finally get it loose, on my next, on my to be continued, I'll show you where it was hung up, because I really am not sure. I've had it with it right about now. It's loose, it's not attached to the frame anymore, but it's just something here is hanging it up from just sliding forward. It's going to slide this way towards me. All right, everybody. Take care. Be well. Bye-bye.